This week, I'm going to lead you through a gentle back-bending practice to counter long hours of sitting. So maybe you've had a long day in the office, sitting at the desk, or maybe you've been traveling, sitting in the car, in a plane. With this practice, we're going to counter all that and just gently stretch and release the back, the hips, the shoulders after long hours of sitting. Let's get started. We need 1 or 2 props for this practice. So you could have either a block or you could also have a bolster or both. If you have both, then have them there ready for your practice. You can also use some cushions, pillows, or you could roll a blanket to use as a bolster. Anything you can find to use under the body for some support. And then we are going to start from lying down on the back. So have your props somewhere nearby and bring yourself into a comfortable pose lying down on the back. And in the beginning, let your whole body just lengthen onto the floor, lengthen onto the mat. You could even bring arms overhead if that feels good. And take a few slightly slower, slightly deeper breaths in and out. And let those breaths slide down to your belly, just allowing that front of the hip area to start opening, allowing your lower back to release. And then you could either take a few extra breaths here, just lying down on your back, or you could bring arms out to the sides like a big T shape. Bend your knees and then do a few windshield wipers, swinging your knees, swinging your legs from side to side. Allowing some gentle movement in the hips, in the back, maybe all the way up in the shoulders. But this movement could give you a chance to just check in how you are feeling right now. And then either from lying down on the back or from those windshield wipers, bring your legs to center, leaving feet on the mat. And then bring arms lower down. Now we're going to go into a supported bridge pose. And you could either use a block or a bolster or pillow under the pelvis. We're going to gently, slowly lift the pelvis off the mat, off the floor, and then slide your prop under the pelvis. So the idea with this supported bridge is that you're leaning your pelvis onto that support. So you can keep your pelvis elevated, opening gently at the front of the hips, lower belly area, without needing to hold yourself up in that pose. And then once you feel that you found that place for your prop, for your pelvis, again, you could leave arms down. Maybe they're on the mat next to your sides. Or you could bring arms overhead on the mat, on the floor. And send, again, a few breaths towards the belly. So now you're kind of breathing in, uphill, breathing towards the pelvis that is elevated higher than the shoulders. And then let the exhalation slide downhill towards the chest, towards the shoulders. And just soften effort in the belly, in the lower back. Supported bridge can also be really nice release for the pelvic floor. And then you could either stay here, or if you want, you could now lengthen your left leg. So extend the left leg, keeping right knee still bent, and just slide the left heel along the mat. That might offer a bigger back bend. It might also offer a bigger opening in the front of that left hip. Take another breath there, in and out. And then if you have that left leg extended, slowly bend the left leg. And you could do same to the other side. Slide your right leg long. So sliding the right heel along the mat, along the floor, to create a slightly bigger opening at the front of the right hip, right leg. And again, it might take your spine into a bigger back bend. If you start to feel pain in the back, in the hips, when you extend the legs, then just keep your knees bent. And then slowly bring your both feet back onto the mat. And we're going to slowly elevate the pelvis off the prop, whether it's a pillow, bolster, block. We'll move that block to the left side of the mat and then release the back, release the pelvis down. You could gently rock the pelvis from side to side. And then we're going to go into a moving twist and then a slightly longer twist. We're going to now extend the left leg and then bring right knee towards the chest, towards the belly. You have your prop on the left-hand side. We're going to slowly cross the right leg over to the left side, either placing the right knee onto the prop, or you can bring your leg all the way down closer to the mat. And then find your right hand, your right arm, reaching in front of you. So you're now lying down on the left side. You can bring your left hand under that right hand. Now we start to circle the right arm. As you inhale, circle the right arm, right hand along the floor, along the mat, all the way behind you, so you find yourself in a twist. As you exhale, continue circling that right arm. So you bring your right hand back to that left hand in front of you. Same again. Inhale, circle, maybe gently reach that right arm up and over behind you, so you're back in that twist. And then exhale, continue circling the right arm, so your hands meet again in front of you. 2 more times. Inhaling, the right arm goes over and behind you. Exhale, circle the right arm back, down and in front of you. Inhale 1 more time, bring that right arm up and over, and now stay in that twist for a few breaths. So leave your right arm kind of behind you, next to you on the right side of the mat. Chest open up towards the ceiling. And let a few breaths spiral down and up along the spine. You could turn head to one side or the other. See how your neck feels. Let your shoulders soften, let the chest open. One more breath here, in and out. And then with your next exhalation, bring your right hand back to the left hand. So you roll onto your left side and then help yourself onto your belly. You can extend both legs and roll down onto your belly. Legs could be closer together, legs could be wider apart. And we're going to bring hands a bit wider than the shoulders. You could release your toes if that feels good. And we're going to go into a cobra pose or a sphinx pose. You'll decide which one feels better now. We're going to inhale, peel the chest off the mat. You decide how much you extend the arms. Exhale, lower back down. Just testing how that back bend feels. Same again. Inhaling, peel the chest off the mat. You can stay lower down, you can go higher up. Exhale, lower back down. We're going to lift up one more time, and then you can choose if you stay on your hands or if you come down onto elbows. So inhale one more time. Peel the chest off the mat. And now you can decide if you stay here on your hands, maybe extending the arms, or if you'd rather come down onto your elbows, onto your forearms. Try to stay 3 breaths in your back bend, gently drawing the chest forward. You might look forward, you might also bring your head lower down. Let your pelvis, the front of the legs, stay heavy on the mat. And then after those 3 breaths, slowly exhale, release your chest down. You can bring hands under the head and take a few deeper belly breaths in and out. You might gently rock the pelvis from side to side. And then as a preparation for our next pose, now if you have a bolster or if you have a pillow, reach for that pillow, that bolster, and bring it closer to your shoulders. So it's next to your mat, but closer to your shoulders. And then bend your knees so you turn your feet up towards the ceiling. And a few times swing your feet, your shins, from side to side. So the windshield wipers just the other way around. And then we're going to go into a bow pose. And now you have an option to start from your chest down on the mat, or to make the pose maybe just a bit more gentle, you could now slide your pillow, your bolster under your chest. Just so your chest is already elevated off the mat. And then we're going to keep the knees bent and reach hands for the feet behind us. You might take hold of the outside of the feet, or you might rotate your arms so that you're holding the inside of the feet, allowing your chest, your shoulders to rotate outwards. And that might create a different kind of sensation in the shoulders. You might even use your legs to gently bring the hands closer together. Now this could be your bow pose, or if you want to go higher up, either from mat or from the bolster, you could inhale, just slightly open your chest more, and you could use your legs to very gently pull back to help opening the chest and the shoulders. Go only so far that you still feel good, okay in the back, in the shoulders. Make sure there's no pain in the knees. And then just breathe here. You could send your breaths towards the chest. Again, you might look forward. You might look down. You might even hang your head down towards the mat. See how your neck feels. Take another breath in and out. Remember, we're doing a gentle practice. And then slowly, slowly start to release the lifting up of the chest. Then let go of your feet, your ankles. If you have a bolster under the chest, just push that bolster, pillow aside, and come back onto your belly again. You could bring hands under your head. And send a couple of breaths all the way down to the belly, as if you're breathing onto the mat. And then we're going to roll down onto the right side, and we start to look for that twist, that moving twist on the other side. So if you need to move your block to the opposite side of the mat, you could do that. And then roll onto your right side so that you leave your right leg extended. Bring left knee bent in front of you. And you could bring a block, pillow bolster under the left knee if you want. Or it could be that you don't use any props here. Anything, everything that feels good for you is fine. Bring your both hands, both arms in front of you. And then as you inhale, start to circle the left arm, the left hand up and behind you, so you find yourself in that twist again. Exhale, circle the left hand back to right hand in front of you. Inhale again, circle that left arm up and over, opening the chest. And exhale, circle the right hand and arm in front of you. 2 more times again, just following your own breath. You might even follow the hand with your gaze, allowing neck to move. And then from the next circle, leave your left arm behind you so you stay in that full twist. A few breaths. Head could turn to one side or the other. And send your breaths down and up along the spine. And allowing shoulders to soften. Especially after those back bends where the arms were active. Now let the arms, let the shoulders, upper back soften. Take another breath in and out. And then we're going to stay in the twist and release the legs so that you now slide onto your back. Find yourself back on your back. We've made a full circle. And then we're going to bring arms down next to the sides. We're going to go into another bridge, but now without the props, just an active, regular bridge. So have your feet roughly hip width apart. And then as you exhale, press your feet down to lift your back, lift your pelvis off the mat. You could keep your arms wider apart, or you could walk your shoulder blades close together, interlock fingers, bring hands together under the pelvis. And take a few breaths here in and out. You decide how high up, how low down this bridge needs to be. You could gently press down through the shoulders, engage upper back. Take one more breath in and out. And then slowly exhale, release the arms, release the back, release the pelvis down. And we're going to hug the knees in towards the chest, towards the belly. You could rock a bit from side to side. And then you have an option to stay here, hugging the knees. Or you could reach hands to your feet, ankles. Take hold of your feet or ankles. Let the knees turn out to the sides. And then we could lift the feet up towards the ceiling into a happy baby pose. You could rock from side to side. Maybe straighten and bend the legs a bit. Whatever makes your happy baby happy today. Allow your shoulders to stay soft. Allow your head to stay on the floor. Or if you feel that your head wants to come off the floor, you can also slide a block or a pillow under the head. Take a couple more breaths in and out here. You could send those breaths all the way down to the lower back, all the way down to the pelvis. And then with your next few breaths, when you feel ready, start to release that happy baby. Release your feet, your legs down. You could do a couple more windshield wipers if you want. And then it's time to find our resting pose, our Shavasana pose. You could extend your legs, could leave your knees bent, or if you have a pillow, if you have a cushion there, you could bring it under your legs. So you could have some support under the knees or thighs or feet. And find a shape for the legs that feels good. It could be a butterfly shape. You could bring soles of the feet together. You could bring hands onto your belly, next to your sides, or again overhead along the mat, along the floor. And then, once you've found your pose, bring your awareness back to your breath. And just start to follow the rhythm. Start to follow that gentle flow in and out in your own breath. So let your mind just rest in observing the breath. And let your breaths soften your back. And let your breath soften your shoulders. If you still need to adjust the pose, feel free to do that. And let your breaths soften your hips. Give yourself a moment to rest, a moment to lie down, away from any kind of seated pose. Allowing your back, your hips, your shoulders to rebound from any sitting, but also from those poses that we've done today. If there's tension in the neck, you could rock your head from side to side. You could open and close the mouth a couple of times. Allow your jaw to relax. Give yourself another moment here to check in how you're feeling now. Allowing yourself to observe without any judgment. There's no right or wrong way to feel. Give yourself at least a few more breaths lying down. If you feel that you need to move your body, feel free to move. Or maybe you just want to adjust that resting pose. After those few breaths, if you would like to now lengthen your resting pose, lengthen that Shavasana pose, you are more than welcome to stay there longer, as long as you need, as long as you want today. Or if you feel that this is a good moment to slowly close your practice, and you could first move your hands, your feet. If you had your eyes closed, you could gently, slowly open your eyes. And then from your resting pose, roll down onto your side, or you might rock yourself up into a seat. Whatever would be an easy way to bring yourself to your final seat. And hopefully the seat feels a bit softer, easier now after lying down, after going through those poses. if it's a part of your practice, you can bring your palms together in front of your chest and give yourself a few more breaths here. Breath by breath, letting go of your practice. And as always, most importantly, thank yourself at the end of your practice for bringing yourself onto your mat, into your body, to your breath. And I thank you very much for joining in, for sharing this practice, sharing this moment. Namaste. Thank you.